Yeah, Woody and I made the trek up from Pomona to your guys' studio, and that was a good time. I can recall it like it was yesterday, believe it or not. We may have been celebrating a little bit that evening, and still can remember it. So I guess the old hard drive up there still working okay.
Oh no! Hello and welcome to another edition of the Statt Mann Chat. My guest this time is six-time drag racing world champion, Jeg Coughlin Jr., maybe a future NHRA Hall of Fame inductee like his dad. I'm going to have a good time with this. Jeg, it's good to see you again, partner.
Hey, it's great to be here and good to be seen, as they say. But life is good. It's my first real season not traveling with the NHRA Camping World Series, and there's a lot of the things that I miss about it naturally, and then of course there's a few things I don't miss about it.
Your first pro stock championship came in 2000. I remember you coming into the studio that night, in fact. So your growth in the spotlight has kind of been along with us. You've grown up like we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Woody and I made the trek up from Pomona to your guys' studio, and that was a good time. I can recall it like it was yesterday, believe it or not. We may have been celebrating a little bit that evening, and still can remember it. So I guess the old hard drive up there still working okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with celebrating, partner. Your first world championship, you'll never have that again. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you've had such success with the Jegs car, the yellow and black Jegs car, that has kind of become your brand. You've taken over the yellow and black in drag racing. You ever think about putting the yellow and black in NASCAR Cup or IndyCar or IMSA or off-road, Lucas Oil off-road?
Sure. No, we've had a taste of probably a little bit of all those, maybe not so much the off-road side, other than a little stint that we've done with the Snake the last couple of years with his Baja experiences, in the side-by-sides or the UTVs, which was really cool. And he pulled out a big win this past year. So congrats to the Snake, still living up to his mantra. The yellow and black is out there, and it's out there in full force, and I'm really proud of Troy Jr. He's taken over the helm of the car that I've raced with Elite Motorsports for the last couple of years. And, he's taken to it very, very well. He's been to a couple of final rounds here in 2021 and, has a bright road to the end of the season.
Now, Jeg Coughlin, I have a theory. First, you have to learn how to be fast. Then you have to learn how to finish the event. You have to learn how to win the event, win on purpose, and win championships. Where's Troy Jr. and all of that?
He's I think he's learning quite a bit. He's always had his eyes set on pro stock, since he was a kid, with his father racing in pro stock, and then shortly thereafter myself. So, he's always been a very good study of the sport. He's a very good bracket racer, very good superclass racer. Obviously proved his own in a short stint with Top Fuel and his A-Fuel dragster efforts as well, challenging for a couple of national championships there and winning the regional championship in an A-Fuel car. So, but forward to the question and to this year, I think he's poised very well. He's learned quite a bit in the 5 or 6 events they've had thus far in 21. And, he and I have spent some time together, as he spent a lot of time with his father. Collectively, I think he's going to be an amazing driver behind the wheel of the yellow and black car, as he always has been and will be, but a great ambassador for Jegs and the Jegs brand and that brilliant yellow and black that we just spoke of.
You miss it when you're not there?
Yeah, absolutely. I will say I've driven a lot of race cars in my lifetime, and I feel fortunate about that, but there's nothing finer than driving. There's 2 race cars that stick out in my mind. One is a pro stock car and the finesse and the ability it takes to make that car go down the 1,320 foot quarter mile. It's not the straight runs that are, the glory and what makes it fun. It's the ones that challenge you a little bit, and knowing that every misperfection is losing thousands of a second. So as a driver, you're navigating and muscling your way through this, crafting your way through it to make it as efficient as you can. And as we know in modern day sports, not every run is going to be perfect. And so that I miss without question. And the second car I was going to say is the Hemi Challenge car that I drove in the early 2000s. It was just a raw piece of machinery. I couldn't have been happier driving that machine, but it was just a raw machine, as I would say.
Taking care of your car is a responsibility. It ensures the long life of your car and its expensive components. That's why Lucas Oil takes automotive protection so seriously. Lucas heavy-duty oil stabilizer bonds with motor oil to shield engines from heat and wear. So take pride in caring for your car and pass that pride and knowledge to the next generation for years of smooth, reliable driving on the long road ahead. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
You and your three brothers, Troy Sr., Michael, and John, you bought the business from your dad, 30 plus years ago. I was told several years ago that Jegs.com was way out ahead of everybody, but I look at some of these numbers now, and it shows that your big competitor, Summit, up the road a little bit in Ohio here, is a little ahead of you. Do I have that all wrong?
No, it could be. We're both privately held companies, so no real ideas as to where the two of us stand. But we've been very comfortable with the growth patterns we've had. Since the .com era came around in the late '90s, we've been very happy with our growth.
I saw some numbers that show that Jegs.com grew like 15% in revenue last year. That's a pretty significant step in a during a time when things are kind of slowed down. Is that true?
I think last year, when you look at the last 16, 18 months, more in particular, I think that hit home very, very close because folks wanted to find some happiness, but to the point, we had a great year working through COVID. We're fortunate under our roof, to have minimal cases, and we took all the precautions that the state of Ohio and CDC put forth on us, and we're fortunate to, for all intents, stay clean and stay very active in the market and service our customers that we're excited to work on their passions.
All right, get to you a little bit here. I don't know if you do Pandora or Spotify, but both of them ask for a band or an entertainer to launch the algorithm for Jeg Coughlin.
Yeah.
Where did you start yours?
I've had a few, but I'm a pretty big John Mayer fan and enjoy his talents. And I grew up. A lot of my friends were Grateful Dead fans in the 70s and 80s. Really? And which was, and I enjoyed their music. I never made it to any of their concerts, personally, but I enjoyed some of the music. And then as most would know, John Mayer's kind of, I won't say he's taken over the helm of what is the newly formed Grateful Dead, which is Dead and Company. But he's almost single-handedly helped revitalize that brand. That's one that's been used. I'm a big Eagles fan, classic rock fan, all through and through. So, you'll see a little pattern there.
Wow, John Mayer, the Dead. Now, I'd have gone to the wall, not expecting that from you, partner. I don't know what I expected, but I'm sitting here shaking my head. That surprises me.
I'm glad to lift you off your seat for a split second. That's not a first probably, but damn near.
Your son's a golfer so far and not a racer, and a pretty good golfer, like a Big Ten golfer at Ohio State. Does he have any interest in racing, or
he hasn't?
You have to figure out how to beat him on the golf course?
Well, that's going to be very tough for me too. The good thing about golf, nowadays it's like bracket racing. There's a handicap. So when he and I play, I get X amount of strokes, and then I can
Oh, wait, he's giving Dad some strokes.
oh, well, I mean, if he's shooting 60 something and I'm gonna shoot 80 something or even young 90s, this old man's gonna need a little love. Yeah, he's I won't say he's a little guy. He's about 6'1" maybe. He's put on a little bit of bulk here. He's probably 180ish now. He was 160ish for the longest time, but great golfer to the point. He played at Ohio State for a couple of years and took a pause there to play some mini tours down in Florida before graduating college. And then as he graduated college and COVID was setting in, he elected to put golf kind of on the side burner again. And he's joined us full time here at Jigs and working side by side with my brothers and his cousins. And he's done one hell of a job under our roof here. So beauty is I get to see him just about every day, which is fantastic. And even beyond that, as a proud coworker to him, he does a really nice job. So it's been a win-win.
You happen to pick something else besides racing?
No, not really. When he first turned 8, I put the junior dragster together for him, and we were out running it, and takes all this effort to get ready and et cetera, et cetera. You get in, you buckle in, you're tightened in, you fire the thing up, and boom, you make your run and you're done. And then you come back and you work on this thing and you have little conversations and whatnot. And he's like, man, it's all this work and then you're done. And I'm like, well, son, that is very one of the aspects of drag racing. And I do see him in a race car at some point in time.
Is it going to be the PGA, the NHRA, NASCAR? What's it going to be for Jake III?
I'd say, he's entrenched himself pretty well in the business world here and found his niche. So I would foresee him continuing down that path in the distant future. It'll be neat to see, but in the foreseeable future, I see him under the roof here at HQ.
Wow. Dude, I've been following you for a long time. Woody, your old media guy, used to call you the kid. I can't call you the kid anymore. You're over 50 years old, dude.
Look at all this gray hair, but no, it's been a hell of a ride. There's no question about it. At 51, let's just say we're maybe halfway through. We got a lot to live and a lot to live for.
Dude, thanks. I appreciate this. We were there for your first championship. We're going to be there for the next one too.
Man, that's great. Great to be on the show. As always, good to see you and look forward to that next one, wherever and however that may be.
3, 2,